What's up everyone, RedKing here. I hope you enjoyed the last movie review. Sorry I haven't been uploading in a couple of weeks. My schedule's been crazy. So the next couple of movie reviews on the channel are going to be Halloween movies, just to get into that Halloween spirit, you know? I won't say what the next few are, but this video will be Werewolf by Night, directed by Michael Giacchino, and starring Gael Garcia Bernal in the lead role. Now, back in late 2021, after they announced the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, rumors were circulating around that there would be a Halloween special circulating around Werewolf by Night. Well, those rumors were true. Now, I know I usually go into the characters first, but since I know little to nothing about the characters, I'm just gonna skip that segment. The movie begins with a narration of monsters, monster hunters, and the most well-known family of monster hunters, the Bloodstone, Keepers of the Bloodstone. I wonder where they got that name. But since the former Keeper of the Bloodstone, Ulysses Bloodstone, has passed away, the Bloodstone wants a new Keeper and is up for grabs. So on the night of his funeral, 5 hunters gather in a battle royale to see who will be the new Keeper of the Bloodstone. And that's when we meet Jack Russell, the Werewolf by Night. What's that? Okay, make that 6 monster hunters because Elsa Bloodstone, daughter of Ulysses Bloodstone, comes in to A, crash the party, B, make sure no one else gets the Bloodstone. Then, after talking and bragging for a bit, an animatronic Ulysses corpse comes in and talks about the rules of the competition. There has been a monster let loose in the garden, and the last hunter standing who kills it will be the rightful keeper of the Bloodstone. No weapons are allowed other than the weapons scattered around in the garden, and after discussing the rules, they each make an offering and make their way into the garden to start hunting. After roaming around for a bit, Elsa and Jack run into each other, but then they just play it off as if nothing ever happened. But at that moment, one of the hunters barges in and tries to kill Elsa because he wants to prevent Elsa from keeping the Bloodstone. Now, I love the action in this movie. It's very well edited and very fluid, like Shang-Chi, as opposed to the messy and hashed together action of, you know, any action movie nowadays. After that, Elsa steals his weapon and goes around roaming the garden, and we see the first sign of the monster through a scratch and a footprint. And then after that, someone sneaks out of a room with a wrist shooter. Seeing as Elsa has a weapon now, she uses it to, you know, chop the guy's frickin' arm off. And the excessive use of blood in this movie? Amazing. After a bit of a scuffle and an injury herself, Elsa runs over to the guy's severed arm with the wrist shooter and uses it to, you know, shoot him in the dang face. And like that wasn't enough, she continues to choke him out in silence after hearing another hunter snooping around in the same spot. Now we come back to Jack. After hearing other hunters and the monster snooping around, he runs over into a hedge to hide, where he is caught by the monster. But it turns out that he and the monster were working together the whole time. So they start talking about how they're going to escape. Jack pulls out an explosive and says that's how they're going to get out of here, is by exploding their way out. And then Jack hears another hunter roaming around in the same spot as him, and he makes a run for it. He runs into sort of a morgue thing where Elsa is, and now Jack and Elsa are alone together. Jack helps Elsa with her injury, and they start talking about their motivations. And they make a deal. If Elsa helps Jack get the monster out alive, then Jack will get the stone for her. So they keep talking and Elsa finds a key inside one of the coffins and they escape from the morgue thing. Elsa gives him directions as to where to get him and the monster out of the garden. And he gives Elsa some advice. If she runs into the monster, treat him like an old friend and call him by his name. What's his name? Ted. The monster's name is Ted. I will say, the comedy in this movie is so well executed and so well placed, I was dying at this moment. Jack accidentally turns on the explosive, and now he has to make a run for it. One of the hunters is close to finding Ted, but is stopped by Elsa. And then Ted pulls an Uno reverse card and, you know, disintegrates the guy. Jack makes it to his escape point and throws the explosive at the wall, but it ricochets back and ends up exploding in his face. Just kidding! Just imagine, though. But after many failed attempts, he just decides to lodge it inside the massive crack in the wall, and then the wall explodes. Elsa leads Ted to where Jack is, and then Ted just makes a run for it. I forgot to mention that the Bloodstone was lodged in Ted's skin, and Elsa managed to unhook it using a hook that she found. So now the Bloodstone is loose, and Jack tries to grab it, but it blows him back since he's a monster himself. After tasing Elsa and Jack, the host of the party ends up imprisoning the two of them together. Jack tries to reason with Elsa, saying that he's nice. He locks himself inside every full moon, and the next full moon is in 5 days, so they have nothing to worry about. But there's a twist. The Bloodstone is capable of transforming you in 5 seconds, as opposed to 5 days. So when the party of the host and the other two hunters come in, Jack starts sniffing Elsa so that he can remember her, so that when he transforms, he doesn't attack her. The host pulls out the Bloodstone so that he transforms quicker, and after performing a quick chant, the transformation begins. And oh my word. Even though it's shrouded in shadows, this has to be my favorite werewolf transformation. It keeps the mystery, it keeps the suspense, it's just perfect. And now, Jack is the werewolf by night. Now here's for my favorite scene. He escapes from the cell and starts attacking some of the guards. Now, the action in this sequence is perfect. Well choreographed, amazing costumes, stunning wire work, and Giacchino's score is just the cherry on top. This has to be the goriest Marvel movie I've seen apart from Blade. Elsa takes down the host to save Jack from almost dying, but Jack almost attacks Elsa, but it looks like smelling her worked because Jack doesn't attack her. After that, Jack makes a run for it as well, but it turns out the host isn't dead and is now fussy since Jack escaped. She threatens to kill Elsa, but not before Ted kills the host. Now that the host is dead, Elsa is the rightful owner of the Bloodstone, as well as Bloodstone Manor, whatever it's called. Now for my second favorite part of the movie. Everything goes into color as Judy Garland's Somewhere Over the Rainbow plays. Jack wakes up at a camp with Ted, they've got a gramophone, French pressed coffee, an acoustic guitar, and Jack is back to normal. So Jack and Ted live happily ever after. I will say, that was one of the campiest endings I've ever seen. I'll shut up. So what do I think? Boy oh boy, this movie was marvelous. It was aware of the fact at what it was and owned it. People complain about how it's not long enough. Oh no, this was long enough. We had just enough time to connect with all the characters, it doesn't feel rushed at all, with no plot holes, great acting, and amazing cinematography. Now, I'm a lover of horror, especially classic horror. This is a love letter to classic horror. I love that it even took the little extra steps, filming it in black and white, making it entirely practical, adding the little touches of film grain, and the soundtrack, and the cinematography. It feels like you're watching a movie from the 40s. But not just that, it doesn't feel like a Marvel movie at all. It just feels like an action-packed 40s monster movie with well-timed comedy and great set design. If you have Disney Plus, I definitely recommend this one. So, that's it for my review of Werewolf by Night. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And if you didn't, well then let me know. Also, you're mean. Let me know what movie you think I should review at some point. Follow me on Twitter at RedKing31YT, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye, fellow YouTubers of YouTubing.